Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We know the police in Scotland are remarkably undermanned, over 1,100 officers short of the target, and indeed even that target is probably still too low. On top of that, they haven't got the cash to investigate a lot of crimes, and a lot of them are now just not being investigated at all. And so it will come, I think, as a surprise to many that they find in these cash-strapped times when money's very tight and they can barely afford to keep the heating on in the police station, that they are prepared to waste millions of pounds on woke training, diversity training, dealing with this, dealing with that, learning to use the proper pronouns. Can't actually catch a burglar, but at least if they do manage to stumble across someone, they'll know exactly what to call he, she, it, they. It's bollocks, isn't it, basically? It shouldn't be allowed. Let's pay the police enough money to go and actually catch criminals and not worry about what you're going to call them. The accused, the prisoner, the lag. Let's call it what it is. Bollocks. Let's have a look to see what is going on and why the police are just screwed on every front. Here goes. Cash-strapped Police Scotland spend millions of pounds of taxpayers' cash on woke diversity training because that's really going to help people, isn't it? When you're screwed over and you need a policeman to attend, oh, I'm afraid we can't. He's on a diversity training scheme. What a load of rubbish. The single force, which former Chief Constable Ian Livingstone last year described as institutionally racist, is spending more than £500,000 a year on equality, diversity and inclusion staff. The Police Scotland has spent £2.4 million on woke equality and diversity roles over the past 5 years, and in addition, more than £200,000 has been paid to external organisations for training. You can guarantee one of them will have been Stonewall, which is little more than organised crime. Enough of this balls. Turn it off. Turn off the tap to this bullshit and just say, no, you're adults. You know how to deal with people. Get out there and deal with people and catch the criminals and stop wasting money on this complete load of old crap. The huge outlay comes despite the national force no longer being able to investigate all crimes due to budget cuts, with frontline numbers falling to record lows. Meanwhile, body cams have still not been rolled out to Scottish officers, and the police are being inundated with often trivial complaints under the SNP's hate crime laws. But hey, they can't do that. But look, they can go off and spend a day going, I know whether to call that man a man or a woman. And it's easy. I can do it dirt cheap. Pay attention, chaps. If it's a man, it's a man. It doesn't matter what he's dressing, how much lippy he's got on, or if he calls himself Susan. He's a man. There you go. Russell Findlay, spokesman for the Scottish Tories, said while it's vital Police Scotland reflects society, frontline officers deprived of basic equipment due to SNP cuts might question the millions of pounds spent in these areas. This is especially true as not all crimes will now be investigated and officer numbers are at their lowest for 16 years. And let's face it, it isn't going to improve anytime soon. They've got money to hire DEI staff. They haven't got money to hire actual policemen. I think I know which I'd rather they be spending the money on. David Kennedy, General Secretary of the Scottish Police Federation, which represents rank and file officers, said the service has faced severe criticism regarding equality issues. So what? When you bash them over the head with a truncheon and throw them in a paddy wagon, you don't care, do you? It's understandable that they want to invest in training. However, these figures, he says, are a real cause for concern. The amount and value of what training has been provided has yet to be questioned. And you can guarantee when this was put out, there were no fail metrics in the quote. They just don't do it. They don't want fail metrics, because fail metrics will always show that they're not getting value for money and that the operation of whatever it'll be has failed, which is why they don't look at failed metrics when you're dealing with public money. Now, any business, as well as I do, any business goes in has to make a profit. Business not making a profit stops being a business pretty damn quick. And so when you do contracts, Nowadays, you put in fail metrics. If it isn't completed by this date, if it doesn't have this level of inspection complete, if you haven't achieved this target by that date, these are the fail metrics. And it encourages the people who do the job to make sure they do the job properly. And it must be the same with all forms of training as well. Cost benefit analysis. It's not hard, but they don't want to do it because they know the cost is high and the benefit is low, and it's done for political reasons, not for any damn use to man the beast. Anyway, new Chief Constable Joe Farrell is under pressure to review whether the spending is worthwhile at a time of extremely tight budgets. She asked for the Scottish Government to provide an extra $128 million this year, but Justice Secretary Angela Constance provided a rise of just under $93 million, below inflation, and therefore a budget cut. And when you've got budget cuts, can you really afford to be forking out over £500,000 on bullshit like diversity training? I suspect not. But again, it's not done because it's any good. It's done because of the optics. Because, oh look, we're training them. Who cares? Nobody who's getting burgled cares if the officer turning up has been trained in DEI or anything like that. What they care about is that an officer turns up at all. And that's the problem. Bullshit piled high on bullshit, isn't it? I'm coming up. So how do we sort the police out? Well, first of all, you up their budget. And secondly, you stop them spending money on stuff like this and hire more policemen. Treat policemen as adults. They know. They're not stupid. They don't need training. If you're male, you're male. If you're female, you're female. End of bloody story. It's just a joke now. Scotland is becoming fast not just a national joke, an international joke. You see everything that happens. You can go in and newspapers all around the world now. They're all looking at Scotland. They're laughing because you've got a bunch of absolute muppets and clowns running a country into the ground as fast as they possibly can. And no one is standing up and saying no. I mean, I am. And you're aware of it. You watch. And there's Craig and Preston. We do our best. But it's not us. We're not voted in. We're not the betters. We're not the masters. We're not the elite. You need to vote those sods out and put someone in who actually knows what they're doing. That would be a novel change, wouldn't it? Anyway, we'll have a look and see what's going on with them. You know, keep an eye on this load of old rubbish. But anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.